What's up, guys? Alex here with this week's is it bi-week? It's bi-weekly, isn't it?
Yes, Alex.
Yeah. Podcast. It's it's podcast number 6, and this week we are going to be talking about the spring anime season of 2015, which is coming up in the next week and a bit. Like the starting like on the 31st, I believe, a lot of them, and then like in April, first 2 weeks of April. So what's up? I'm Alexi Tans, and
It's me,
who are you
JamieMe,
guys?
back again. The magnitude of manliness.
I don't know how I'm going to top that, Jamie. Just George here, or at Infamous Villain, whatever. Yeah.
Calm down, we aren't plugging ourselves just yet, Jesus. Wait till the end, God. So yeah, this week we're going to be talking about the spring anime season, which is coming up, and the titles that we are looking forward to, and the ones that we probably don't really care about or we've never heard of before, which is usually a lot of them. There is a link below in the description to the list, the chart of what's coming out this season. So if you're watching us live, then go click that, and you can kind of keep up with us. That's the one that we are using. So obviously you can see where when we talk about it, like the top right 3 down or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna talk first off talk about the ones that we kind of know of and what we're looking forward to. So does anyone want to go first?
I'll have a little flicker through. I think that the top one for everyone's probably going to be Seraph of the End. I imagine that's the big one. That's manga
I think
is
there
really
are
good.
still quite a few other big ones airing this season.
I think there's like 3 or 4 that I'm looking forward to this season.
Yeah, for me the other one's definitely I mean they're calling it Arslan Senki on here, but I think it's more commonly known as the heroic legend of Arslan, because it used to be called, and this is a funny note, because I actually watched, the first time I watched this was about 15 years ago, I believe, the original VHS tapes, and they never actually completely brought it out. They only brought out, I think, 3 of the videos out of 6. And there was a mistranslation, and they were actually called Arislan at one point, not Arslan over here. So that's a bit of a funky one. For anyone that doesn't know, it tells a story of a kid that I think he's royalty, and his castle or his area, it gets overrun by a rival army, and he's got to go all the way around the world, I think, to get back to flank the enemy.
Christ, Jesus. I can see why it's called the heroic legend of that.
But if I remember correctly, it's very brutal, and I don't know what that'll be like in 2015. I don't know if they'll have some of the stuff that they had in the original, because it were quite brutal.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's going to be the next Attack on Titan that everybody's kind of looking for.
Yeah, but it's a lot of responsibility for a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, but that's like the majority of anime.
One that took me off guard, by the way, I did not realise that this was back so soon, is Knights of Sidonia's back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's back, I'm really looking forward to that.
I haven't seen the first season, so I should probably watch it.
Yeah,
it
is. Yeah.
I might have to borrow my friend's Netflix account.
And because I read the manga, it's going to go through some of the cooler bits of the series. I think that this second season is going to be the best stuff they've done so far, you know.
Yeah, I've only seen season 1, but it was really good. I've really liked what I saw. And I think the CG worked. I'm a fan of CG, but the CG for that series worked really well. And I think it was the traditional methods they could have done.
I think that they're getting to the point now where they're nearly there with the CG. If they can just improve on a few little things. I thought that it got better the more the series went on as well. I think that it started to look more natural the more episodes that you watched.
What, so was it not animation? Was it 3D CG or?
It's a weird hybrid between anime and CG, I think.
Yeah. Right.
It looks like anime though, doesn't it? Like moving anime. It doesn't look like, Advent Children or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, there is. I I'm sure I've seen something recently which has been like that, and I can't remember for the life of me. Sorry, like what it was, but there was definitely something which I watched. Like, this is actually like 3D animation.
Appleseed.
This isn't like 2D. No, it was I'm sure it was a series, but I can't remember. So is there else you're looking forward to, Jamie?
I'm trying to think. I mean, the big ones. For some reason, Digimon. I don't know why.
Oh no, I am actually really looking forward to Digimon.
No, I'm looking forward to that. I was going to mention that. Yeah,
I watched it as a kid, and now it's kind of like, all right, this should be a laugh. I think it's because it was a more edgy Pokemon, wasn't it? Really.
It was, yeah. Like going back and watching some of that. Like, I quite frequently, like, every now and then I'll get like the edge to go back and watch something, and Digimon Tamers was probably one of my favorite seasons. Like, I really enjoyed that season, and I think that was like the 4th season, because you had Digimon Adventure, then Adventure 2, and then you had the ones where it was like a couple of the characters were older and there was some new characters, and then you had Tamers, and I really enjoyed that because it was like, it seemed even though I prefer watching the dub of it, it seemed a little bit like edgier, like you said, than like some of the other stuff that happened. But like the films, like it was actually a really good series. Like, even the dub of it was really good. Like, I don't think they seem like, with Pokemon it was a 4Kids dub, and they seemed to like edit quite a lot of stuff out. Whereas I don't think they did that with Digimon. I don't know if it was a different company which actually dubbed that across here, well, in America, and then got it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that title as well, considering it's set. I don't know how many years it's set. Like, after
he's 17 apparently.
Seasons.
The character.
Oh, the characters are. So it's probably like 5 or 6 years, isn't it? Because obviously this is going to have to be set after the 3rd season, because that had Davies in and stuff like that, didn't it? And the film was a weird one. Did you guys watch the film?
I mean, I've not watched much of it, but from what I can remember, it was interesting. And I think that you can actually pick this one up without knowing everything about the others.
Well, yeah, probably. But like, I know the film was like, it was weird because the first half it was set like with the original characters, and the second half was set with the 3rd season characters, which seemed really odd. And like, the story tied together, it was like it seemed to be like the same bad guy from the first half, coming back and trying to take over all digital stuff in the real world. So I know in the first half it was trying to control nukes. So
I suppose the thing that I'm looking forward to most out of everything, assuming that we actually ever see it, is Code Geass Akito, the 3rd episode. That's obviously a biggie.
Any of those?
It's good. Code Geass
is it good? Because I heard, I heard that those is it spin type like movie OVA type thing?
Yeah,
like, apparently
like 40
it's
minutes.
just all right. So I never really picked it up, but
it's good. It's just it all depends on if your brain can get through the idea that the end results are kind of already there, because it's set in between the 1st and 2nd season. And it's kind of like,
I'll have to check them out at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they've gone with the female leads obviously different, and because Code Geass has always just been about Lelouch and Suzuki, that rivalry, and now you've got this different dynamic where you've got this peculiar guy who seems to have, like, he has issues, female characters getting disrespected left, right, and centre, but she's making it work, and she has to take over a band of, I think the Japanese, but she's like integrated a Japanese troupe into she's running a unit, and it's, I don't know, I'm not selling it right well here, but it's kind of like the CG is really good that they've gone with. Some of the shots they use in the storyline's good, and I mean, without spoiling it too much, the re-emergence of certain characters is the selling point. Finding out what Lelouch were up to on his summer holiday.
Fair enough.
And
yeah, it was like, when it gets to the end of a season, usually there's quite a period where it's quite quiet. This time around, it doesn't seem to be that much of a problem because stuff seems to be setting up pretty damn quickly after the previous season. But like I said to Josh the other day, I was like, I want to watch an anime where like there's quite a few episodes, like 30 or 40 episodes, and I can just kind of like power through it and really enjoy the experience of watching it. What did I do with that recently? I wanted to mention it and I can't remember what. I just like pretty much powered through a series. I can't remember. Yeah, so like I quite like doing that because then you get a bit more of a feel of like what it's about and just enjoy it more. Oh, that was it.
Kuruko. All right.
7 Deadly Sins.
All right.
No, I hadn't watched that. It was one that I did want to watch at the time, but didn't. And then after Josh saying, no, you should watch it, it's really good, like nearly every single time he told me, I was like, right, I'll give it a watch. And I caught up like last week. So Monday, I think the second to last episode came out. So I caught up on like Sunday, I think it was. And there's like 22 episodes up to that point. So I watched all that. And do you know when you just like can't stop watching it because you're actually really enjoying the story? And yeah, I really enjoyed that, and it's kind of the same when I'm watching stuff like that, and it keeps me that intrigued. It's like going back when I first started watching, like I always say, it's like Bleach and Naruto and One Piece. Like there's something that compels you to keep watching it, and then like you get through it and you're like, oh man, I wish there was still loads more episodes.
I just said it was shy.
But then obviously you start. But then obviously no, I mean like. Because you can skip the fillers if you haven't watched.
I think the regular episodes are shy towards the end, to be honest.
Well, maybe, but like, you don't often get that feeling where you're like, this is a really good series.
I think we can agree on Kuruko's basketball. That's the best example we've got right now, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, back to what we're looking forward to. So you pretty solid with...
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there for me to be getting through. Certainly much more than last season.
Especially for you, yeah, I know. You only usually watch
like
one,
so
right?
will be. I think the Seraph of the End is the one that I'm most looking forward to on a weekly basis. It's difficult with the Code Geass thing because I'm strongly suspecting that it probably won't even come out. So
yeah, well, it's like that kind of thing's like the Helsing thing, isn't it, where they was bringing them out like every couple of months, and then all of a sudden there was nothing for like 5 years.
Madness.
and then they brought out the last 2 episodes out pretty quick. It was pretty strange.
It's because Kaze are involved, that they were re-released the Blu-rays over here. Did a terrible job, and maybe they own the license. I don't know.
Well, no, I just meant in terms of animating it. The company that was animating it either couldn't be asked with it, or something happened, where they couldn't do it anymore. So they had to. They couldn't.
I thought they were too depressing me. The more it rolled on, it's like bloodbath after bloodbath. I'm like, yeah, okay, that were cool first 5 times, but now it's like Jesus.
I only watched
blood everywhere.
So you looking forward to many titles this season, George?
Well, I'm not going to go through my whole list because we might be here quite a while. Because I like to try as much as I can. Just watch a couple of episodes, see if it's good. If not, I'll drop it. I tried to I suppose the key ones are Seraph of the End, Nisekoi Season 2, Knights of Sidonia. Actually, one that caught my eye was I think it's Kikei Sensen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sensen.
That I'm really looking forward to. It sounds really cool. I
believe that is Blood Blockade Battlefront. Over here,
okay.
Like that's what we know it as. Josh said that he's read the manga for that, and the manga's amazing. Like he said, it's really good. So he's really looking forward to this.
That's good then.
Apparently, it's pretty violent as well. He said so. It's I'm really looking forward to that one as well. After he mentioned it and explained to me what it was, it's like, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's set in New York, isn't it, as well? Which is quite an interesting setting.
Yeah, a breach between Earth and the Netherworlds has opened up over the city of New York, trapping New Yorkers and creatures from other dimensions in an impregnable bubble. They've lived together for years in a world of crazy crime, sci-fi sensibilities. Now someone is threatening to sever the bubble, and a group of stylish superhumans is working to keep it from happening. So yeah, it sounds really interesting. And apparently it's pretty good.
So that's definitely what I'm looking forward to. And I think the other main one is probably the second season of Fate Stay Night. Because apparently this half is going to be insanely good.
Is it the same storyline as the original series, or have they taken a different route?
It's the Unlimited Blade.
I'm not sure on how the routes work because it's adapted from a light novel, I think.
Yeah, it has different paths. Yeah, it's a visual novel with different paths, so they can change it every now and then.
Yeah, I know. I think this one is staying true to the Unlimited Blade Works route. I think the first one was a different idea. All I know is that this is pretty good. It's pretty good now.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched half of Zero. I started dwindling off from it, unfortunately. But I mean, I really enjoyed the first like season. You know, the series that they did, and they did an Unlimited Blade Works film, didn't they?
Yeah, apparently that was really bad. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I mean, I didn't mind it too much.
Well, that got released over here as well, so. Alright, so I guess. Shall I run through?
Nah, I think we're done. Let's get the end theme going.
Okay. Well, what a shame. So yeah, there's probably like 4 or 5 that I'm actually really going through this list. It just reminded me of a few ones. So yeah, there's Seraph at the End, which I'm looking forward to. That should be good, especially with Studio animating it, because their animation is always pretty spot on. And unlike a lot of animation studios, where I don't know if it's maybe just because of the workload that they have, like the animation seems really sloppy sometimes. Whereas when you have studios like Studio Wit and Kyoto Animation, they put time and effort into it because they only do one a season. So there's that. I'm looking forward to that. Should be great. Then there's Shokugeki no Soma. That should be a good one. If you do you read the manga in Jump, Jamie?
I don't know, but I do seem to see it a lot. I'm going to take a stab in the dark here, and I'm going to say that it's not just about food, because that's the impression I got first.
Well, it pretty much is. It is, but it does a really good job of keeping you. I can't explain what it is about it, but it does a really good job of keeping you like engrossed in the story, and it's not boring. Like, considering it's a food manga and it's in Jump, like if it didn't do that well and people didn't want it, it wouldn't be in Weekly Jump
true
or
enough.
whatever. Yeah, like so it does. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it which keeps it really, really interesting and appealing. So I'm looking forward to the anime adaptation of that. What else have we got? We do have Digimon. I'm looking forward to that as well. That should be good. There was a couple of others. Nisekoi Season 2. That should be good. Because they actually did a really good job of turning that into an anime. Like the first season, there's some parts in it which I didn't. Do you know when you like you get a little bit worried because it's like, okay, this works really well in manga format, but if they then bring it to animation, how are they gonna like or like vice versa? I guess like sometimes it's like how are they gonna actually portray it that well? But they actually made the characters like seem like the characters in the manga, which they did a really good job with that. Kekai Sensen as well. Josh mentioned that one, so probably gonna.
I might actually try that one, after reading description.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks really good.
What's it called again?
Yeah,
might give that one a go.
Yeah. And then I'm sure there was another one. I can't find it now. Where is it on the list? There is the the one with a really long name right at the bottom of the list. That's pretty good. I think it was on Crunchyroll. It's something like My Romantic.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about
Snafu.
That is really good. Yeah.
I don't even know where you're looking now.
Is a bit.
My teen romantic comedy snafu is the English thing. It's Yahari ore no seishun love kumwa ma chigateru zoku.
Right.
That was actually really funny. The first season of that is up on Crunchyroll, and it's actually
Yeah, I
really
really
funny.
liked it.
And every week it made me chuckle. But kind of looking forward to the second season of that. Gintama's coming back. I never really watched that.
I've seen the
Apparently
first 20
that's
episodes, and it is quite funny when he's reading Shonen Jump in the actual episode, saying, "I wish I had a bankai."
Yeah. Yeah. But apparently, like, I don't know what happened to it, because I know, like, people, it started to get a bit thingy, because that, well, I don't know, I think that anime and the manga just ended up being taking the mick. Like, they used to just do parodies of other, like, series and, like manga and anime, and that kind of turned into that for quite some time, so I think people were getting a bit bored with it, but then they stopped the anime, and I don't know if the manga carried on. But I think that's pretty much it for me. So there's like 6 series that I'm kind of looking forward to, which should hopefully be enough. But I'm probably going to end up watching 2 or 3 more.
I probably won't end up watching all the things I've
what
said I'm
else?
going to do. That's the sad thing. Probably like,
You've only got 3.
Yeah. We're like, oh well, Sarah's not looking that good anyway, which I'm obviously joking about.
Oh yeah, you might end up dropping it. You might not.
Well, that's the fear, isn't it? I'll end up
think it
looking
is.
at it and
Yeah.
it'll be like, oh my god, it's just not animated good enough. Because there's,
Hopefully that
I
shouldn't be a
mean,
problem.
I think there is a lot of pressure put on it, and like we've been arguing about on Twitter, over here it hadn't helped that Anime Limited signed it to what I'm going to assume is they're going to take it to the top format of Vimeo, probably.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, like, if they want to do something, they kind of need to, like, sort themselves out. Like, they can't just say, oh, well, we're going to be streaming it, we don't know where, and I hope it doesn't end up like it did with Tokyo Ghoul and Terran
Well, being put on Animax and waiting 2 weeks for an episode.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was the second season. I'm on about, like, the first season. Like, the episodes were out in Japan and out on Crunchyroll or wherever, because Crunchyroll had it for everywhere in the world other than Europe. And
Well, for Tokyo Ghoul and Terran
obviously,
Resonance.
Well, no, for Terran Resonance, it definitely.
Really, I thought it was Funimation
but
that
Tokyo
had it.
Yeah, that's what. No, well, they might have done as well, but
we can't have it, can we? Over here, Funimation.
No, for.
I think they said they're doing a streaming service in Europe eventually, but who knows how long
they are trying. Say that in quotation marks. But yeah, like you'd be waiting like up to like a day or 2 for like the next the latest episodes to come out, and at that point I'm kind of like, but I want to watch it now. Like it's supposed to be out like on Crunchyroll or something. They'd have it out, like 7 o'clock on the dot. Or maybe a little bit after, or a little bit earlier. But you'd be like waiting, because it's like they constantly say in their emails like, "Oh, if you get an update on from Kickstarter or anything like that, Twitter," it's like there's only like 3 of us. Hold your horse. And like, then don't try and have too much on your plate.
Don't license things that are going to be insanely popular if you can't handle it.
If you can't handle it, it's like people who are really looking forward to like. Even Kill la Kill, it was like, alright, it's supposed to be out now. Like, it's out, I don't want to have to go watch it illegally, but you're not helping yourself. And then you'd be waiting 2 days for it. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah, I mean, when
days.
you're competing with like, being able to watch it for free in a couple hours after it's been, like, released on Crunchyroll or something, if you're competing with that and you're expecting people to pay for it, you've got to get it like out quickly. Otherwise, people are just gonna go for the free option. Like
that's another thing. They haven't mentioned anything about where they're going to.
And it starts next week.
So if it turns out, exactly. So if it turns out they're gonna put it on Wakanim like they did with the previous stuff, which is fair enough. Yeah, it wasn't a bad website. It was a pretty good place to do it. There was just
and half of it were in French. It were like they'd not made an effort, had they really?
That's what I mean. Like, when that website first started up, it was all in French pretty much, and they was asking us as like customers to help them sort
Yeah.
the website out. Which is fair enough. You're trying to get it going, but then they stopped putting stuff on there, stopped getting licenses. I'm really hoping they're not going to turn it into I'll pay for each episode, because if that's the case, I'd rather them just get hold of the license to like publish it over here, and like let Crunchyroll or someone else have it, like who will put it out on the dot. Like, I think that's the thing.
I think at this stage, what they're trying to do is it's name association. They get these licenses so that they can improve their own brand, but it's like, yeah.
They need to hire some more people if they want to do that. Like, they keep putting way too
Well,
much
they're not going to Kickstarter, are they? If they've got loads of money, they won't be going to Kickstarter. Yeah. It's the fact that they are a small company that are doing more than they're capable of. They have some very good ideas. I know I criticise them a lot, but some of the stuff that they do does genuinely work. But they need to focus on the stronger points.
I appreciate like what they're doing, but they're putting like way too much stress on themselves by the sounds of it, and they're just it's irritating because, like we said before, we want them to be good at what they're doing, but they don't help themselves because they're like saying that they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to give us the world when in reality they're kind of just giving us a small island in the Pacific somewhere which ain't worth anything. You know what I mean? It's like their expectations are high, but they struggle to actually meet them.
Funny thing is, though, they've got the best chance that they've ever had at the moment, because let's be brutally honest, Manga UK look like they're struggling at the moment, that what are they called? Animesu or something? And they look like they've made it difficult for Manga UK, because I think they've somehow they've left the company, started their own up, forced Manga UK to have to work with them, which has diluted their product, and it means that there's an opening now to be the predominant brand. And if they'd have worked more carefully 2 years ago, 1 year ago when they started, and let's be honest, they haven't actually delivered Miracle yet, and if they'd have got all this stuff sorted and better planned, maybe not even bothered with Kickstarter and saved themselves the heartache and just concentrated on delivering good, solid products, ironing out the mistakes right now, they could actually be doing a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like the releases are actually really good. It's just they then have they're better off double checking the work and maybe putting a tiny bit more money into it, rather than having to then re-release and redistribute discs. Like, that's like one of the big problems. Like Cowboy Bebop, like the amount of money they must have spent on reprinting, like re-editing certain like scenes and stuff like that, then having to send it off to the people to get it checked off for quality control, then printing off even more discs. Like, that must cost them so much more money than it would if they would just took a little bit more care when they was doing it, because the releases are good. Like, the Kill la Kill like sets, like, people kick off about the price, but they've got no reason to kick off about the price, because they're bringing it out pretty damn soon after it's been released in Japan. Like, it's not down to them, it's down to the people in Japan who make that. Like, if if everything was down to Japan, we'd have it in like 9 sets with 3 episodes in each, like, and it'd be 60 quid a pop. Like, that isn't realistic in this market. So they've done a pretty good job getting it at the prices that they have, but it's just they could probably do to spend a little bit more time and effort in. Like, I understand why they turn around and say, well, it's coming out on this date, so get your pre-orders in, because then people will then pre-purchase it, and like it creates hype, and then it's just kind of annoying when they say, oh well, it's coming out in 3 weeks' time now.
Well, that was the thing as well with a lot of the time. It were like, oh yeah, it's coming out now, and then it's like, oh, but we're going to have to delay it now, and there were quite a lot of delays on a lot of the products, and it really does come down to the need to not like overdo things. They need to take more time, and if they're bringing out these, because I personally, I don't think I could bring myself to actually buy anything from them until, I don't know, they send me a box of flowers and apologise for having the audacity to try and talk on my blog, Were it them that did that? Or am I confusing them with Manga UK? They're all the same to me, but apologies if so. But I think that we have had an argument. But yeah, we have over the. I can't remember what it were over, but it was something. But joking aside, that was me just getting a dig. I just think that I could see myself buying something if they can go like say 3 releases without making major mistakes. Then I think that because Manga UK are capable of doing that. MVM are capable of doing that. It shouldn't be an achievement to release something that's actually fully okay.
Have they even had a release that's been perfect?
I don't think
because
so.
Maybe was it that film that they released? How was it? Did
Bloodlad?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Is Bloodlad out? I don't think they had any problems with Bloodlad.
Oh, so that's I think what 2 releases that were right.
Yeah,
Not very impressive.
I think
2 out of 10 ain't bad.
Kill Kill came out this week.
Yeah, Monday.
I think. So that I haven't heard anything on that yet, but it usually takes a week or 2. But I'm still waiting on my voucher from them. Obviously, from the mess up with the Gurren Lagann stuff, because they said, "Oh well, we'll give you a £30 voucher," which I'm gonna buy Kill with that off the website.
It is disappointing as well, because like I know when it with me when I bought Code Geass from Kaze, and that's like my favorite anime, and you see like there's mistranslations, there's bits that are like symbols and things like that, and you're just like, oh come on, I've paid all this money, I've been looking forward to this, Blu-ray version finally, and it's like because.
It's painful, isn't it? It really is. Like, it's something you love, and it gets kind of messed up.
Because when you see the ad pitch by all these companies, they're telling you this blatant lie about how they're anime fans first. And if you're going to lie, you have to be pretty damn good at it. And getting all these mistakes, an anime fan would not make these mistakes. They'd take the time, there'd be more. But if you're rushing products out for like financial gain, you're less likely to check through them. And I think that seems to be what happens some of the time, but I think we should just like get over it and let them do the thing, and hopefully they'll improve. It does get boring talking about it because it does.
It's every week. Every time we do it, we end up they've done something which either irritates us or something's gone wrong for them. And I do genuinely feel bad about it because they're actually taking more risks than what a lot of the other companies would. Which I appreciate, but it's frustrating because it's like they're doing stuff wrong, and it's like I don't want to criticize you, but I can't help but criticize you. But yeah, hopefully they can eventually straighten out. Like, it'd be cool if they managed to get their hands on a couple of extra people to help them out.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's just getting the extra staff members in place to. I mean, they have become a source of comedy, have the Kickstarter messages. George's phone's going again, but look at it.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing right now, is he's left the podcast and he's just texting
No, it just got the notification from Twitter going...
Sorry. That'll be me. But yeah, so that's, I guess, Anime Limited have got their hands on Heroic Legend of Arslan and Seraph of the End, so we just kind of talked about what their...
That did bother me.
Wondering what their plans are going to be. Like, I think that's the main worry we've all kind of got here, just what are they going to do?
I don't want to watch it on Vimeo. What's next? Like Daily Motion? We're bringing it to Daily Motion for the fans.
Jesus Christ.
It's like we're going to give you it in 320p or something because, that's what you want. It's like, I don't want that. I want it on Crunchyroll. Just get it done.
But we'll see. Hopefully they'll sort something out. Like, it'd even be nice if they ended up, like, forming a partnership with some other, like... company, just like, even if it's probably impossible, but like if they formed a partnership with like Crunchyroll or one of the other big streamers, just so they could put their stuff out on it and sell their stuff on the website, you know what I mean? Like, then they could both take part of the profit.
I just think that their best option would be to just get it all on Netflix. You know, like if you're gonna go down an alternate route to Crunchyroll, Netflix seems like a good idea. I'm sure they're paying out.
Yeah.
Surely.
But Anime Limited have quite a good relationship with Netflix, don't they? I think they've got quite a few of their shows on.
I think so. Yeah.
On there.
Pretty much.
I think we know that these shows are going to end up on Netflix, but get it done sooner than later and save the embarrassment of like these really shoddy. Like, I mean, what it Vimeo or what it Vio? I mean, who's used Vio in the last 10 years?
I think it was Vimeo. That's what they was putting the trailers up for new.
And you know why that people have to do that? It's so that they can avoid the copyright strikes on YouTube.
Well, yeah, but it's if they've got their hands on the title, surely they could just turn around and go, "It's ours." Like, take that strike off us, and then they'll do that. But it's the apparently it is quite the effort trying to get your strikes. That's why people join.
Well, I had a conversation once, I believe, with MVM, and they were saying that the reason that they put all the trailers on, I think they put them on I think that it was Vimeo for them, and they said that it happens so much that you get strikes automatically, and it's such an effort because you have to prove your license, you have to email them, they have to contact the people who don't reply because they're too busy or don't care.
And Twitter YouTube don't have to rush because they're friggin' making money off it, you know what I mean? It's like, it was on Vimeo that they put out the trailer for Sarah for the End.
Let's try finish on a lighter note. Let's think of something good.
Oh, we've got another half hour to go. So yeah, I guess you want to talk about some of the other anime. No licenses have been announced yet, like streaming simulcast licenses for anything. Animax will probably announce them 3 weeks into the season, like they usually do, and then bring the episodes out 2 weeks behind, which is horrible because I wouldn't mind paying for a subscription on their service if they was a bit better at like doing it, like they're a bit better at telling you when the episodes are coming out and stuff. Whereas Crunchyroll is pretty spot on because obviously you have a queue, and every week the latest episode will just pop up on your queue.
Yeah, has everyone figured out how to get Crunchyroll on your PS4 yet, by the way? Technically, yeah. if you have an American account, that's what everyone says anyway.
I just made an American PSN.
Yeah, my friend's just done that.
I've got an American account, so I just use that.
Yeah, because you can. All you need to do is just have your account on your PS4, and then you can go play it on your normal account, get all the trophies for it. It's just if any DLC comes out, you'll have to buy the American one, which is fair enough because you've got the account to do so. And it's not like it's not like pirating because you're not technically doing that because you've bought the game. You just bought it from America. It's like the same thing as importing. Like, so yeah. But other than that, I think. I'm just looking at Crunchyroll now. They haven't announced. Oh, they have actually announced some spring titles. Oh, fair enough. They've announced them 5 days ago. Apparently, completely missed them. There can't be anything coming over here then if like the other websites haven't mentioned anything.
I mean, Crunchyroll doesn't really take the UK and Europe as a really serious market. Especially
No, and that irritates me. Yeah, they've announced that they're gonna get Gunslinger Stratos, Plastic Memories, Nisekoi, Fate Stay Unlimited, Blade Work Season 2, but they haven't announced where they're going to actually be like what areas will be able to stream. So that's probably why people, like the other news websites haven't announced it just yet. But if we're lucky, I can see us probably getting unlimited.
Yeah, we had the first part over here, so I think we will get that.
Yeah, we probably will get Nisekoi because we didn't get the first season, even though they were streaming it in America.
Who had that over here?
Get Plastic Memories and new one.
I think Animax had it, didn't they?
Was it? Yeah. It was Animax, yeah.
I've just noticed, by the way, that Kakai Sensen's by Bone, so that should be pretty good in terms of animation.
What of Kyoto Animation doing anything this season? Because usually their stuff's pretty good.
What studio that again?
Or they're too busy working on Kyoto Animation.
They're doing Hibeki Euphonium.
Oh, right.
Girl in a Brass Band Club.
We'll watch that. it'll probably be alright. They're the ones that do K-On!
By the way, have you
that,
seen what the worst
National
anime of the season's gonna be?
No,
it's called Punchline, and apparently the world ends when he sees underwear. That is the catch line for it.
How far down the list is
that? Hold on, let me have a look. I think it's near the bottom. Hold on.
I thought I'd just literally seen it, but...
Oh, no, it's not near the bottom. I'm looking at the wrong one. Alright, it's the...
I found it, yeah. I found it.
The slogan for the anime is, once he sees underwear, humanity is destroyed.
Christ.
It's like, oh my goodness.
And apparently it's a comedy slice of life. That doesn't sound like a slice of life to me.
Yeah. Maybe it is in Japan. We don't know enough about Japan.
Maybe
if anyone sees underwear in Japan, they just faint immediately. Like dead.
Yeah. But, So there's that. I think Shaft animate Nisekoi, which I could tell when I was watching the first season, like... do you know when you just think to yourself, who are animating this? Because it looks so familiar. Like the whole like random panning shots and like loads of beautiful artwork and stuff like that. And I was like, and all of a sudden I think it was Ichijiro Raku, like the main character, like just tilted his head backwards. I was like, all right, this is Shaft. Like, because obviously if you've watched Nisei Monogatari, any of the Monogatari season, like back in Monogatari and stuff like that, like the head snapping back is pretty.
It's like a trademark.
Pretty big thing that a lot of the characters... Yeah, it is. And like the whole like artwork, like they do a lot of fantastic artwork and like random like shots and stuff like that, which...
I was surprised by the way that nobody's into Ghost in a Shell then, because I've not watched it, but I watched the first ever film, but I've not watched any since. But
I haven't seen anything on... It's always been a series and stuff that people have recommended to me, but it's just one of them where I've never got around to actually watching it. And yeah, it's supposed to be really good, isn't it? Like, I had they just released the Blu-ray like remaster of it, I say just last year, didn't they? Over here in Steelbook on Blu-ray. And I did have it for pre-order, and then for some reason, I think I pre-ordered it from Zavvi, because they were the cheapest at that time. And they cancelled all the pre-orders, I think, at one point. So I was like... And I didn't know about it, so obviously when it came out, I was like, oh, I've got that pre-ordered on it. I was like, no, I haven't. Oh, well, I'm not going to spend money on that then, so whatever. But, I think one of the other series that I'm actually kind of thinking about, I might have a look at it, is the remastering the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series.
Alright.
So that's...
What, as in, are they redoing it all, or are they just...
It's a remaster, apparently.
Which means it's not.
So it's above Punchline, so it might be they might be reanimating it, or they might just be randomly, I don't know, just upscaling
that's the thing. If it's just upscaling,
yeah.
And I guess you kind of just want the dub for that anyway, because the dub was. And they've just released a dub on DVD over here, aren't they? Like the second season came out the other week. But yeah, Shogeki no Soma. The story centers on Soma, who works with his dad at his family restaurant. His dad is a culinary master, and he often hosts cooking battles with his dad. His father then enrolls him in an elite culinary school that is very difficult to enter, and the graduation rate is only about 10%. That doesn't really explain anything about that, but yeah, it's really good. If you've read the manga, it's in Jump. I think it does start quite late on, so the only other way to read it is to, I guess, I think Vizmida have it digitally as well as you can buy it in bookshops. So that's definitely one I'm looking forward to. It it makes me laugh though, because have you read the tags for it for Shogeki no Soma?
Oh.
You got school, shonen, and then ecchi.
Oh.
Now that's only because when the taste of food, all the clothes pretty much come flying off them. That's literally the only point, like why it's to do with that. But it's not usually that bad. I don't know why that's one of the tags. It'd be better off just having cooking as a tag or something like that.
What's this? Vampire
Yeah, it's pretty
Holmes.
good.
The story of the original game takes place in London. Oh my god, is this Sherlock Holmes turned vampire?
But he's a vampire.
Oh, dear me.
I think so. Seems crazy. That Plastic Memories, actually, reading the...
Yeah, I have got that on
seems pretty
my
interesting.
plan to watch, actually.
Androids that look exactly like humans begin to spread across the world. The android production company CSA Corp produced Gifita? I don't know. A new kind of android that is the most amount of motion like humans. Whatever. What's that? However, the androids have a service life, and once it past that, things get pretty bad. So that's kind of like taking the whole like Halo universe kind of thing on, where I assume the androids, well, it's the AI in Halo which go crazy after they've been in service for X amount of years. But maybe that's the same thing that happens to the androids. So they have a giant android war. It'd be pretty cool. Yeah, is there what else you guys want to talk about? Have you anything in the news that's popped up? We've talked about Anime Limited's acquisitions.
Well, there was an article that I saw this week that was talking about the Japanese government to shut down pirate anime and manga sites, but I've just gone back to it now and I've seen when it was posted. It was actually posted last year, so I don't know if it is.
Well, they did clamp down on a lot of stuff. I don't think it was mainly websites. It was
Yeah.
trying to stop the people from uploading it. Don't get me wrong, I totally agree with what they're doing. It's just if you're gonna do that, then you need to make it more readily available in other countries.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I'm reading it now, and apparently they were going to make a website to direct people on where to watch stuff legally or read stuff, but half the shows, like old shows, because when I want to catch up on something or watch an old show, I usually go onto a pirate anime site, just because a lot of the streaming sites don't have a lot of the older series. They focus more on the new upcoming ones or very recent ones, and there's not really any money in it for them to go and pick up the old ones. So we could lose,
especially over here.
To be fair,
exactly.
like there's a Debayoki usually points out that Japanese site design for the West is just usually not up to scratch. So when they're making these sites that legalized sites, it's like I think we'd all agree that is it Daisuke is not the best site ever.
No, but they have been like it's a lot better than what it was. It is a lot better than what it was, and it is a lot easier to like navigate through it now. There's just literally a tab that you can click on. It's like anime, stock, community info, sign in, like account, which is always helpful. And you click on the anime tab and it takes you to a list of all the anime they've got. So that does make it a lot easier. The problem I've been having with their website is some of the videos haven't been that stable recently. Like, obviously they get Kuroko no Basket every week when it comes out. They're the ones that like put that out. Since Crunchyroll couldn't get their hands on it this time around. Well, they'd have, but it's like a week behind. So I watch it on there when I come home from work on a Saturday night, and it's annoying because like you'll get so far in and then all of a sudden the animation starts juttering. So the audio is fine, perfectly fine, but the animation like keeps jumping back and forth really quickly. Do you know, like, and it's annoying because you just want to watch something and it's like they have it in 1080p, which is great, but if your video player is messing up, it's like you can't handle or something's going wrong, then that needs sorting. Like, yeah, so that's one of the problems with the website. But they do a decent job, and especially last season, they managed to get, I'd say, 4 of the big titles in there. They got Aldno Zero.
Yeah,
Season
it's the
2,
best solution, I think. If they're going to go down that route of clamping down hard on piracy, and they're going to use that Daisuke as the go-to place.
Well, that is by the animation.
Exactly, but they're not doing it. They're still not. It's still not what you. It's not Crunchyroll, is it?
No, it really isn't, and especially since Daisuke promised that One Piece was going to be available all over the world on Daisuke. That's still not happened for the UK, has it? Like, and a lot of people kind of peed off about that because it's on there for Americans and the rest of the world, just not as in Europe. And that's annoying because that was one of the ones that they promised that was coming worldwide, and that is one which I'm not as big into the One Piece anime as I used to be, mainly because it just ends up being the episodes they don't have fillers in them like Naruto does, but they stretch the episodes out to the point where it's painful. Like,
it's like a chapter an episode, isn't it? Around that.
Yeah. So they stretch, like, you can read a chapter in what, like 5 minutes, like, so, but they stretch them out. So there was a point where, do you read One Piece in Jump?
No, I don't.
Well, there's a bit. That's fair enough. There's a bit in the manga where they're all in the Colosseum, and they announce all, like, because they're having like a big like battle in a Colosseum kind of thing, and they announce all the characters. It's like Luffy. Well, it's not Luffy. It's under a disguise of Lucy. It's hilarious.
Fairy tale nod.
There's like Lucy. Then there's like all the other characters, and then there's Diamante, and then Diamante, like, that's literally it, and the fighting's like 3, 2, 1, start. In the anime, Diamante comes out and he starts singing for no joke 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm just like, why is this happening? I skipped through, like, it must have been like 5 minutes of the episode. I was like, this is horrible. Like, I totally get why you're doing it because you've got to pad the episodes out, but just...
Okay, it's one of those things where sometimes if you really like a shonen title, it might not. If it's one of the more popular ones, it just might not be worth picking up the anime and appreciating the manga for what it is.
Well, it's like, I go back to the anime for One Piece because in the manga, all the awesome fights are happening. So, and the anime is kind of just behind. So they're slowly coming up to all the fights, which I like to see them in animated form. But that's why I tend to end up not watch One Piece for a couple of weeks and watch it when I'm editing a video or something, because I don't have to put my full concentration into it. Because obviously the manga's pretty good. But yeah, so that's obviously one of the problems with Daisuke, just not putting enough out there when it really should. Like, what is it, like, there ends up being like 30 series every season, probably a bit less, and they get like 3. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit crappy considering, even if they just got all the major titles, like Seraph of the Ends.
That'd make a lot of sense, like, to be on there, to be honest.
Yeah, like, just the one which have a pretty big reaction. Like, just get them on the website. But I mean, I guess Kuroko no Basket is pretty big, and they had Mobile Suit Gundam, the origin.
Well, no, I don't think anyone were going to license that, in all fairness, for streaming, because it just don't make sense. It's one of those titles that's weird to get out there.
But it's cool that it's available. Do you know what I mean? Even though you have to pay for it on the website, but that's a problem because it's pretty much like a film anyway, isn't it? So. But yeah, so what else is there? You looking forward to any of the OVAs?
Just the Code Geass one. If it actually comes out, I mean, that'd be another title that'd just make perfect sense, and it could possibly come out on Daisuke, but I don't, because I mean, nobody's releasing it either. That's the other annoying thing, that they're not bringing it out anywhere. So maybe they will do, because if it went well, the Gundam stuff on Daisuke, I think there's a small chance that Code Geass might get the call.
Yeah. Oof. Well, you're looking forward to the free eternal summer over here, Jamie.
I've never watched it. The only thing that I'm truly looking forward to right now is WrestleMania.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people coming around to watch that on
What, really?
Sunday, so yeah. Well, my friend's pretty big
all
into
two of them?
wrestling.
I don't know why it's so easy to be horrible to
you. My housemate, don't worry, I get it all the time. I can shut it off the majority of the time. My housemate was pretty big into Israel. He likes to know what's going on and stuff like that. And obviously, since we moved out of our parents, it kind of became easier for us to have people around
Very
and
nice.
stuff. And then one of my housemates moved out. We don't know what he's doing with his life now. He was a pretty close friend of ours as well. And we got one of our other friends to move in, and he's a pretty big wrestling fan as well. So I'm living with two massive wrestling fans, and it's slowly growing on me, which is...
I guess I have to ask you the ultimate question then. But, Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns?
Probably Brock
Good
Lesnar.
Choice.
Roman Reigns seems to be the...
He's who you're supposed to like, that's the problem.
Yeah... But he, they even got his name wrong. He shouldn't be called Roman Reigns. He should be called the Pebble. Anyway,
Why the Pebble?
Because his uncle.
Oh, very good. Okay, George, what's your thoughts on wrestling? That'd be interesting. I know you're usually... Right all right.
Yeah, don't worry. I was completely until, I moved in with my housemate, and he's like, oh, well, don't have it on all the time. Like, you have it on a lot of the time. Obviously, whenever I go downstairs, it's majority of the time he's got the Wrestling Network on. I don't really have a problem with it because I'm in my room, but I guess I didn't think it would become a massive part of everything, especially since my new housemates, my other friends moved in. So... And then it turns out, a lot of my other friends are pretty big into wrestling, which, you never know of, and then all of a sudden now we've moved in. I think we're having, 8 and 9 people around on Sunday to come and watch it, which is crazy. There's me and Josh who, I live here, so that's why I'm watching it. But, Josh, he didn't really care for it, but he's coming to watch it, because he was around last night, and my friend Adam, was putting up YouTube videos what happened last year, and he's like, it's crazy. The stuff that happens. He's like, the one thing that Adam says to try and get me into is it's like random stuff happens and you just go with it because it's wrestling.
That's
and obviously
funny.
all the divas are in scantily clad clothing as well. So to be fair,
well, with anime that you watch, I can see his point.
I'm not. I don't watch that kind of stuff.
You're going to get a knock at 11:30. It'll be it'll be me and my cousin oh, we don't have the WWE network, so we've had to drive all the way to Hull.
Well, yeah, you don't live that far away.
No, not really.
It's like an hour or 2 drive.
That'd be so awesome.
If you fancied it. It'd be pretty crazy. Just have random people you come in and all of a sudden random people
yeah.
Could watch WrestleMania. What the fuck's going on?
And then your neighbours are complaining because there's a Let's Go Lesnar chant.
Well, we have mentioned that a few times. If we've had, parties and stuff, we've said to the neighbours, look, we're probably going to be loud till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And one of them's like, oh, I'll be out anyway, so it doesn't matter. God knows what one of our neighbours does, but he goes out quite late at night and he comes back quite early in the morning, 4 o'clock.
He murders people, and you're allowing it to happen.
He might do. For as far as we know, he might be. But yes, any other series or there's quite a few films, I guess, which are coming out. Oh, there it is. Yeah, apparently, is it the Code Geass
Akito?
book?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently May the 2nd that comes out.
The thing is, though, that's in Japan, isn't it? I mean, it's never translated over here because I think they come out in cinema first, you know.
Films are... Yeah, probably. Oh, in Japan, yeah.
Yeah,
they
the
do,
overtype ones, especially. I'm sure I've read that this one does as well. It annoys me that does how big it is over there. Yeah, over here, I don't. Is Code Geass even that big over here, or is it kind of like midway?
It's well known.
I think because it's
I don't know
aged
how
a bit
big
now.
popular it is because
Yeah,
but what my cousin who only recently, like, say about half a year ago, started properly getting into anime. Like, he loves that series.
it's your safe second suggestion after Death Note. In reality,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I've often been like said, oh, you should watch it, but it's one of them series where they don't name it like season 1 and season 2, so I'm stuck to the point. Every time I go to look at it, I'm like, but which one do I start
R1
with?
and it's R1, R2, and now you've got Akito, which is in the middle.
Right, fair enough. But yeah, it's the same with. There's another series that does that, like Fate Stay. Like, I never know. Like, there's been a few times I'm like, oh, I've got nothing to watch. I'll give that a try, and I just get lost of where I should start. But they're making a Shin-chan film.
Whatever that is.
Christ, did you never used to watch that? It used to be on Fox Kids back in the day.
No. I never had that though, did I? So
it's
weird.
Shin-chan. Didn't you?
Didn't grow up posh like you, but look at it. I get right jealous of me when everyone's like, I had Nickelodeon, I had...
A lot of times. Yeah, well, to be fair, I was a bit like that, but my nan and granddad had Sky, so every time I used to go around there, I used to end up having Toonami on and things like that when that was around, so obviously used to watch Samurai
Have you ever
Jack
noticed how I always fail miserable to turn you
stuff.
into a villain type? It's like you've always got a good comeback plan. It's like, oh no, it were only costs. It's like, damn him, I'll get him one day.
Nah, I think, like, that's actually, I'm quite curious actually. What's like the first anime that you guys actually watched? Like, remember watching? Like, because to me, the first one I remember watching was probably, Flint the Time Detective, and that was on CBC. Like, which when I look back and when I found out that was an anime, I was like, holy shit! Like, CBC had
weird.
anime. Like,
It'd have to be for me, I guess.
Yes.
It's a close call between Pokemon and Cardcaptor Sakura, I guess.
yeah, like Cardcaptor Sakura, I watched that on CITV. I loved that
I
series.
know,
Like,
it was
I
quite
got
good,
VHS.
actually.
I had like the first. I mentioned it to Scott guy on Twitter who runs the anime Blu-ray anime Twitter.
Is that him who does those unveiling?
Like emo, yeah, like emo 183 or something like that. Let's see if I can.
I think so.
Give a shout out. Yeah, emo 185. He like put something up because he buys a lot of stuff, and he was mentioned about Cardcaptor. I was like, oh, I remember watching the dub of it, and he's like, well, yeah, but the dub's crap compared to the actual thing. I was like, well, yeah, but when you're a kid, like watching it on CITV, and that's all you have to go on it by. Do you know what I mean? It's a pretty damn good dub for what it is. Like, back in the day, like.
I think you only get bitter on like dubs and subs when you're over 20. To be fair, that seems to be when it happens.
Yeah, when you know the difference and how bad they actually can be. Like,
it's like looking back. Pokemon's not exactly a brilliant dub, but it didn't matter at all back in the day.
No, it didn't. It really didn't. No. But especially, probably didn't help that 4Kids were actually doing the dubs. Like, you look back on it now, and it's like, Jesus Christ, that is so bad. Like, but it wasn't at the time. So.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to shoot off in a second because
I guess we kind of
Ed Miliband and David Cameron are going head to head.
Oh, yeah. 6 minutes that starts, I think. Yeah.
Someone's also watching the clock countdown.
Are we going? It was the last episode of Tokyo Ghoul, like I say. I recently caught up with it. Josh mentioned apparently in episode 9, I think it was. There's a fight scene between Black Dog and the guy with like his lips off.
Jesus.
And apparently...
I'm going to give it another shot, just for you, George, by the way. I'll watch it on Netflix, Jamie, just for you.
Jamie, don't watch it. Read it, please. Don't watch it, because if you watch it, I don't think you'll like it. But if you read it,
okay, I'll read
and
it.
Read it.
I think read it. Like, don't you prefer reading a lot of like?
They are releasing it
true.
digitally now. So you can pick that up for probably quite cheap.
Yeah, they're slowly bringing it. It's the Digifest digital.
I'm sure Shonen Jump had it in this week's. There's like a jump back or something.
They have.
So I'll try that.
A preview, because obviously Viz Media are licensing it over here. So I think the first volume comes out in the next month or so.
I think the physical volume is out in June, I think.
Well, is it? I thought it was because we've got digital one out now.
Yeah, digital ones.
Yeah, Josh was saying apparently they kind of like didn't go all out with the animation at some points. Like
there was some parts.
Apparently, there's a bit in it. Well, I never noticed it when I was watching it because I wasn't paying attention. Like, I was just kind of seeing, oh, this is pretty good fight scene. Apparently, the guy, the police guy who has like his. Oh yeah,
he just like slides across.
Apparently, Josh said he just slides across the like. They apparently just move his character rather than animating the background to move. So along with him, apparently he's on like the path. And then all of a sudden he's in the middle of the road because he just slides into the middle of the road.
I don't know.
I need to go back and rewatch just for the
season. I think they spent all their budget on the soundtrack because that soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, the soundtrack is good. I'm curious to know who animates it. Is it Bone? Who animates Bleach? Because I'm sure some people did Bleach.
It's Perrier. Perrier, I think. I have no idea how you pronounce it, but. The same as Bleach Naruto.
Where is it? The anime TV series Parrot. Yes. So what else do they do? Was it Bleach? Because I'm sure they did Bleach. They've done They do Naruto. There we go. And Naruto, yeah, Bleach and Naruto.
I wish.
So there's a reason why.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It would have been good if I think it's Madhouse that did Parasite. If they were doing Tokyo Ghoul, I think it would have been.
Did you watch the ending?
Yeah, I did actually. Did you?
That was really good. Yeah, I was hoping what happened at the end did happen because it's like everything that's happened to him. It's like
just puts the cherry on the top.
Usually,
so just like cover me ears and start going.
Well, like, that anime has been, rather a lot of anime, it's like, I'm going to protect everyone. Like, everybody he's loved has kind of just been killed off.
Oh, well.
It's just, right at the end, it's like some shit's happening. It's like, no.
I dropped the massive hint not to spoil it. It's like, yeah, everyone dies. All of them.
Pretty much.
Dead.
They all die, but they don't really. Like, one of my friends, like, ruined the ending to a game. It's like, everyone dies. But they don't really die.
Yeah, well, Naruto dies in that new movie that they're bringing out. I hope you're happy now.
Man.
And then
he gets brought back to life with the power of friendship.
Exactly. Yeah. He knows what I'm saying.
Sasuke just Sasuke's
tears.
His tears bring back to life. Yeah. But yeah, so there's quite a few more ending. Probably should have talked about a bit of that, but I don't think you've really watched much, have you?
No, unfortunately, but
not really worth. Yeah, next season's looking kind of good for the titles, which do actually seem pretty decent. A lot of decent like animation companies are animating the titles, which are gonna be hopefully gonna be pretty good. Actually, Ninja Slayer from animation that is being animated by Studio Trigger, so that might actually be one to look out for as well. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for the podcast. Thank you for, I was going to say watching, but you're more or less listening to us. Thanks for listening. And I guess we'll do our shout-outs and our plugs. Where can we find you guys?
Go on, George. You hit it.
Well, yeah, just my Twitter, that's at the beginning, @InfamousVillain. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can find me, JamieMe Writes, on pretty much every platform. So Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you want to go and follow those, hit that up because I'm bringing out a comic as I plugged away last time. Queen, it's called.
Yeah, I was gonna say when's that Kickstarter starting?
It's going to be in May. There's a small chance that it might be a couple of days into May, but I'm hopeful it's going to be at the start. It's going to be when the general election kicks off. I mean, I'm doing a political story. It's been planned for a year now, so that's the aim.
Nice.
And
it's a good time to do it.
So give me your money. Yeah. No, I'm joking, but yeah, do.
He'll be begging for your money in a month's time when he's on the podcast, because you did say you wanted to use one of the podcasts to talk about it, so I don't mind.
It's going to be horrible when I've got to be kind of... The thing is, I don't like those kind of characters. I don't like it when it's kind of like, every tweet's like, have you seen my Kickstarter? You can back it right now. It's like,
Yeah. But in that kind of what you've got to do though when you do
I'm going to not be too annoying about it. I don't want to be... I think that quality marketing versus begging is the way forward.
Probably, yeah. And then obviously you can find me if you're watching it live on my YouTube channel, AlexD Tans, youtube.com/AlexDTans. Follow us on Facebook at /AlexADTans, and I'm on Tumblr, AlexD Tans. I'm Alex. If you Google search AlexD Tans, I'm sure you'll find me. Yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll probably be back in 2 weeks' time. Write that in your diaries, guys, YouTube, because I know what you like. So on April 9th, we will be back again, doing a live podcast, and we will be talking about the new season, which has just started at that point. So we'll probably be talking about the first couple of episodes of all the titles that we wanted to watch. So yeah, look forward to that. And thank you once again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, guys.